The dusty attic air hung heavy, thick with the scent of aged paper and forgotten dreams. Alara, a writer whose online presence had recently felt like a hamster wheel of fleeting trends, was on a quest. She'd stumbled upon a peculiar leather-bound journal tucked away in a trunk. Its pages were filled with elegant, spidery script detailing the life and work of a woman named Beatrice, a writer from a bygone era. Alara began to read, captivated. Beatrice's entries weren't about the latest societal gossip or fleeting fads. Instead, they were meticulously crafted explanations of her craft, deep dives into historical events she'd witnessed, and thoughtful reflections on the human condition. One passage in particular caught Alara's eye. "I find little satisfaction in chasing the ephemeral. The whispers of the moment fade as quickly as they arrive, leaving behind only a faint echo. True fulfillment, I believe, lies in the creation of that which endures, that which can serve as a beacon long after the initial spark has dimmed. These are the pieces that build a foundation, the cornerstones of understanding that can be returned to year after year." Alara felt a jolt of recognition. This was it. This was the missing piece in her own creative puzzle. She'd been so focused on the immediate gratification of likes and shares, on crafting content that would explode onto the scene for a day, only to vanish into the digital ether. She'd been building sandcastles on a rapidly receding tide. Inspired, Alara descended from the attic, the journal clutched in her hands. She spent the next few days devouring Beatrice's wisdom, not just reading, but absorbing. Beatrice had written about how to research historical inaccuracies, not just for a single article, but as a general guide for anyone interested in the subject. She'd penned a comprehensive explanation of the societal impact of the printing press, a piece that had clearly taken months of dedication but was still relevant decades later. There were resource roundups of obscure but valuable historical texts and opinion pieces on the nature of artistic integrity that felt as fresh and vital as if they'd been written yesterday. Alara realized her own blog, once a source of pride, had become a chaotic jumble of short-lived posts. She'd written a piece about a viral dance craze, a review of a fleetingly popular app, and a hot take on a political gaffe that was already forgotten. None of it felt substantial. None of it felt like it would be useful to anyone a month from now. She decided to start fresh. She began by creating a comprehensive guide to understanding the nuances of historical fiction, drawing on her own years of research and writing. She meticulously researched and outlined a tutorial on how to effectively use primary sources, complete with examples and actionable advice. She even started a series of in-depth explanations of literary movements, starting with Romanticism and planning to move through Surrealism, Modernism, and beyond. It was a slower process. Each piece required more thought, more research, more careful articulation. There were no quick wins, no immediate viral splashes. But as she worked, a different kind of satisfaction began to bloom. She felt a sense of purpose, a connection to something larger than herself, something akin to what Beatrice had described. She started incorporating these evergreen pieces into her other content. A newsletter might feature a brief update on a current event, but then link to her in-depth guide on analyzing historical context to understand the roots of the situation. A social media post might pose a question and then direct followers to her tutorial on critical thinking. Her older, ephemeral posts she quietly archived, a testament to a phase she was moving beyond. Her audience noticed. Initially, some of the quick-hit seekers drifted away, accustomed to the constant novelty. But a new audience began to emerge: students, fellow writers, history enthusiasts, and anyone seeking deeper understanding. They found her blog not by chance, but by searching for answers, for reliable information, for a thoughtful perspective. They bookmarked her articles. They shared her guides. They returned time and time again. Alara's online presence began to shift. It was no longer a fleeting spectacle, but a wellspring of knowledge, a reliable resource. Her newsletter subscribers grew steadily. Her social media engagement deepened with more meaningful discussions and fewer superficial reactions. She was building a foundation, just as Beatrice had advised. One evening, Alara sat at her desk, the leather-bound journal open beside her. She was working on a new piece, an explanation of the evolution of storytelling techniques. It was challenging, demanding, and deeply rewarding. She felt a quiet confidence, a sense of enduring purpose. She was no longer chasing the ephemeral. She was creating something that would last, something that would continue to serve and enlighten long after the digital dust had settled. She was thinking in Evergreen. Hey, to contact me, use the secure contact form on guyrcook.com. If you like this video, found it helpful, consider subscribing to this channel, giving this episode a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Subscribing to the channel assures more valuable content on digital marketing and other things. It's a wrap.